name's Waltz. I made it up thinking that that's what Armenian music would sound like, because my friend Gregory Page, I have this friend named Gregory Page, he was in the Rugburns with me, and I met Gregory Page at, well, he used to play at a place called Megalopolis, and so did I, and he was in a goth band called Baba Yaga. I know. And they had like dry ice on stage and a light show. And they cranked it. They were really loud. And it was awesome. So I would go see them at this place called Megalopolis. And it was by Pearson Ford at Fairmont and El Cajon. Right there at Pearson Ford, we stand alone at Fairmont. And that's what got me into writing songs, that song. It was such a catchy jingle. I was always into jingles as a kid, man. It was like, I like that hooky stuff. So, anyways, I met Gregory Page, and so I go to see him play, and he'd play a couple songs solo, and then he had this goth band, so I went to see the goth band. And afterwards, we sat outside, and you know how foggy San Diego can get some nights at like 2 in the morning where you can't see a thing. We're sitting outside, it's really foggy. There's a full moon, you can barely see it as the fog sort of dissipates. And we keep talking about our mutual love of James Taylor. And so he says, oh, I gotta show you something. He lifts up his shirt, takes his jacket off. And Gregory was so skinny that he would wear sweatpants under his jeans so it would make his legs look bigger. So he lifts his shirt up, he goes, look at my bicep. And he's got a peace sign tattooed on his bicep. And I go, I know why you got that. He goes, because James Taylor has one. And then he said, did you see Two Lane Blacktop, this James Taylor film? We just talk about our love of James Taylor all night long. Did you know, like, he was a heroin addict and he went to a crazy insane asylum for a while? Yeah, and we're talking about all the songs. He goes, yeah, I wrote him a bunch of letters. Finally, I got, like, a restraining order. So, we kept talking about it. We go and get tacos at La Posta over there in Hillcrest, you know, not too far away on University Avenue. And we eat tacos. And we'd become best friends. We're just talking all night and everything. So, anyways, he tells me the story about how his whole life he was Gregory Page, and he thought that that was what his last name was. And then all this time he thought his father had the last name of Page, and it was the dad that raised him. But he wondered why he didn't totally really look like his dad. So when he turned 18, his mom told him, your dad was actually a guy that I met before I met your father, and I just had a fling with him. And he was Armenian, and his mom was in a band called the Beat Chicks, which was the girl version of the Beatles. And so Gregory, as a kid, got to sit on Paul McCartney's lap, and they went and they saw a bullfight in Spain because the Beat Chicks were touring with the Beatles. So he said his mom told him that when the bullfighter went to kill the bull, Paul McCartney shielded Gregory's eyes to block him from seeing it. And Gregory always says, if it was John holding me, he would have let me see it. So, it was pretty cool. I mean, this is really cool lineage. So his mom tells him, your dad's name was Krikor Hovalian, and he was Armenian. And I had a fling with him. I didn't really even hardly know him, and I'm really sorry. So, I mean, imagine this. You know, you find out when you're 18 that your dad that you thought was your dad wasn't your dad. So years later, as the computer starts coming into play and you get Google and everything, Gregory starts Googling in the name Krikor Hovalian. Well, prior to that, I had this CD come out called One Left Shoe, of which some of the songs are on that you heard, like Impala, I Love Everything About You, Leaving Again, and that last one's called Krikor's Waltz. So I write a song which I think is going to be, I go, this is what Armenian music sounds like to me. So I do that song, and Gregory types in Krikor Hovalian and eventually finds his dad online, and his dad says, who are you? And Gregory says, did you meet a girl on the Beat Chicks on this year, blah, blah, blah. So since then he's met his dad and had this reconciliation and everything. Pretty neat stuff, I mean, crazy. And since then he now hates his dad's guts. No, I'm kidding. He's been out to visit him in Paris and everything. So anyways, I would like to invite my friend Gregory Page.